It's mid-April and we're inside Yellowstone Park, actually south of Big Sky on the highway to West Yellowstone. And we're going to do a new tour today that goes up Bighorn Pass. And Bighorn eventually goes over and ends up coming out south of Mammoth, about 25 miles or so up the trail. We're going to go about 5 or 6 miles up along, it's actually the headwaters of the Gallatin River, and about 6 miles in, cross over a ridge and drop down on the north side of us here onto Fawn Pass. Our car's about a mile, our second car's about 1.5 miles up the road, so we have 2 cars today. Again, big snow year, lots of snow. Nevertheless, we do have our bear spray handy, and in case we run into any grizzlies just coming out of hibernation. So here is our trip. So we're going to start here on the Bighorn Pass and follow that up along the headwaters of the Gallatin, and then cross over the ridge and drop into Fawn Pass Trail and come back out on the highway. So again, there's that 1.5 miles, and this distance is about 10 miles. So here we are looking east up the Gallatin River. And again, the Gallatin starts up there about 3-4 miles up the trail. But river is very beautiful this time of year. You can see where the sun is kind of melted and the water's undercut the snow. Looking back from the way we came, so looking west, been a nice gentle meadow ski up to this point. Now the Gallatin River is starting to braid and meander and have lots of little channels in it, and you could just about jump across the Gallatin at this point. Sure look like otter tracks, and again kind of in the right location for otters. Looking east, maybe even a little bit north towards Fawn Pass. This is that little ridge that it looks like we might be able to ski right around the end of that ridge. And here's the Gallatin River, again right about at its headwaters. My trusted partner Jay Cohn, Jay Monette, as he's better known as.
Trying to keep Scott in line. It's a full-time job, but someone's got to do it.
Actually some nice deep holes in the upper Gallatin here, maybe holding a few fish. That's looking north, and in fact that gap up there is Fawn Pass, and then a little over to the right is Bighorn Pass. Again, both of them come out right out by Mammoth. About a total distance of 19 miles. We are now about 5 miles up the Bighorn Pass Trail from the highway. And if you didn't have the time or ambition to do the whole loop, this is a great ski in itself. It's all very gradual uphill, really nice terrain with great scenery. The Bighorn Trail is actually on the north side of the river, and when you start out at the highway, there's a bridge there that you can ski across to cross the Gallatin. We stayed on the south side of the river and needed to find a spot to cross. Thanks to the beavers for this old dam, made this channel crossing pretty easy. Now that right there is the pass that drops from the head of the Gallatin River, the headwaters, over into the Fawn Pass trail. That's our route.
Way up here, Fawn Pass, near the top of the saddle. Not quite yet, but almost. How about this for a snow field?
Well, here we are climbing out of the bottom, and you can look back and see the Gallatin. And the Gallatin, that is Bighorn Pass through the clouds there. And then up that way is Fawn Pass. Well, here we are on top of the divide that separates the Fan Creek and the Fawn Pass Trail with the Gallatin. And we've just climbed up from the bottom down there to get up on this high point to work our way back down Fawn Pass Trail. From the car at the top here, we've gone 6.14 mile by GPS, and the trail, the Fawn Pass Trail, is coming up right in front of us here. The high point up here is at about 8,000 feet. We're now starting our descent off the top of the ridge down into the trail, and if the conditions were a little better, it would be great turning. There's some good open slopes for skiing down.
Oh, Mommy. Quite the ride.
Well, we're down at the bottom and have picked up the trail now from skiers that have come up the Fawn Pass Trail. And this trail's actually marked. More bear tracks. These were probably last night's bear tracks. Big bear, it looks like. I can see the claws real clearly in the track. So we're following the trail out. We're probably a mile.
Mountain lion?
And there's mountain lion tracks right there. And here's those grizz tracks. And that grizz has been following this the trail all the way for the last mile.
Right.
It's been right on the trail. Like to have seen either the mountain lion or the grizzly bear. Well, here we are at the Fawn Pass trailhead, about a mile and a half north of where we parked to start the trip around noon. We went 11.3 miles and took us about 6 hours total. The highlight of the trip had to be all of the grizzly tracks and then the mountain lion tracks. Whether you ski either of the trails or the whole loop, it's very scenic and great terrain for cross-country skiing.